if you're going to say something about a group of people, don't be surprised when it comes back to bite you and you are at risk of losing your job and all of your opportunities because you wanted to be shady and you wanted to throw other people under the bus just for you to get ahead. You have so many people that use black women, gay people, trans people, dark-skinned people as the butt of their jokes so they can get higher opportunities than these people that are gay, black, fat, dark-skinned, and trans, and female. It was okay when it was helping your career to make these jokes. But all of a sudden now, when we find out that you said something in 2010 that's not going to fly now and no one's going to support you because we all realize that you're a homophobic piece of shit or you're a transphobic piece of shit, all of a sudden everyone is out to ruin your career when you were the one ruining trans people's careers and you were the one ruining gay people's careers by making jokes about them and making people not take them seriously. You almost ruined Frank Ocean's career because he came out as bisexual. You guys don't support your gay male rappers. Every time we hear of a woman that's a lesbian or a man that's gay, y'all don't support them. The only gay people I know that is kind of mainstream in hip hop are Young M.A and Kalani, and they are both light skinned. So I feel like y'all don't really do what you guys say you do. You want to sit up here and claim that we want to ruin your career because we don't want to support someone that did not include me or somebody else into their little movement. You wanted to discriminate against a group of people. You wanted to make them the outsiders and make them feel bad about themselves. You wanted to alienate them from your cause. And now that you realize that these people are pretty much your only support system, you want to take it back and get mad at people for seeing through your fakery. You said something homophobic, so please own up to that. You said something colorist, so please own up to that. I remember when Maya Jama, and I don't even know who she is, she's kind of irrelevant to me, but she's some UK radio personality that is Somali and British, I believe her mom is English, I don't know, but she's biracial, and she was under fire last year because back in 2013 she liked a couple of comments mocking dark-skinned girls, and she was laughing at the memes. Now you can say, well, she didn't outright say that she didn't like dark-skinned girls, she didn't say that they were ugly, she just thought something was funny. My thing is, even during my worst stage of self-hate, I never laughed at those jokes. I never thought they were funny. I thought they were disgusting. I thought they were dehumanizing because so what if our vaginas are dark? For you to make fun of the way someone's vagina looks, or because of somebody's pubic hair or somebody's underarm hair or somebody's skin condition, you think that's funny? I never thought that was funny. I never thought roach jokes were funny. I never thought all of those jokes that people laughed at in 2012 and 2013 were funny. So I feel like Maya did that out of mean-spiritedness. I feel that she thought that it could help her career. She wanted attention from the guys. She wanted to be cool. And now when people called her out on it, she was all, oh, I'm so sorry, and I stand up for all women, and I was ignorant at the time. I don't think you were ignorant. I think you were like most light-skinned people that believe that you were better than darker-skinned people. And now that it's caught up with you, you want to play the victim. You want to start crying about how black people don't support you. Cardi B did the same thing. She was calling black women roaches. Every black woman that was darker than her were getting called roach. Whether they were brown or dark skinned, all of those women were darker than her high yellow ass. And she's calling people roach and burnt and calling them monkeys. And then when we called it out, she was oh, no one wants to support me. You just don't want to see me win. Bitch, you was trying to win by shitting all over those people. You thought by shitting on dark-skinned women that it can make you famous. That's why you did it in the first place. And now that you're not getting the type of reception that you thought you was going to get from doing all that, then you're trying to play the victim and cry about it and say people want to ruin your career because we don't want to support someone who used us to get ahead, who stepped all over us. Kevin Hart, when he made jokes about gay men, he tried to sit there and say, I'm sorry, you know, like he wasn't sincere. He was crying to Ellen because Ellen, being a cis white woman and a rich white woman at that, she don't really care about anyone but herself. So of course she's going to be on Kevin Hart's side. She didn't care about the fact that his comments mainly targeted gay black men or bisexual black men. She didn't care about anyone but herself. And for Kevin Hart to do that fake apology and how we're trying to ruin his career just because now that we are more woke and aware of the things that you said, now you're trying to take it back about how it was a joke. And because I think the reason they're trying to play us now, because a lot of the times they made these jokes when we were children and we were unable to stand up for ourselves and to say, hey, that's wrong. Now that we are adults and we know better, they're trying to gaslight us and say, oh, well, you just didn't understand at the time and we were joking and times have changed and I've learned from it. No, you meant what you said. And now you're trying to backtrack because it can ruin your career. And you see that a lot of gay people, a lot of trans people, and some dark-skinned black women have more social capital than you do. And they can shut you down quick if they find out you said something about them even 20 years ago. And that frightens you. Don't talk about other people and then get mad when people look up something you said about them years later and then say, I was only 17. Let me tell you something. I remember when I would get online and make a couple of jokes and talk about racism and anti-Semitism and call out homophobia, my dad would threaten me and say, hey, that's controversial. Say a white person looks up these tweets and they don't hire you because you talk against homophobia or Christianity and white privilege, and you can lose your job over that. We get our jobs threatened for standing up to racism or homophobia or transphobia, yet we find out that the CEO said something about black men 10 years ago. He still gets his job because he's sorry. So I guess we can only lose our jobs if we stand up to the system but not reinforce the system, okay? So if I want to stand up to the status quo, I can potentially lose my job. But if I reinforce the status quo, all I can say is sorry. Because I remember I was told not to post things about racism, about colorism, about homophobia and transphobia and feminism, because I could potentially lose my job, because jobs don't want somebody that's controversial and somebody that doesn't fit into their work environment. Yet we find out that all these politicians said something racist, they were in blackface, and we shouldn't ruin their career over that. But yet so many people are not being hired because of their opinion on Trump. That's not fair. That's not fair at all. That Cardi B or someone can talk about dark-skinned girls or fat girls a couple of years ago and she can still be where she's at. But yet, let somebody say something about white people or light-skinned people, and a white or light-skinned person is trying to hire them, and they lose their job because this person said white people are racist or light-skinned people are colorist and stuck up, just because they spoke the truth on a collective of people. Just because we said that white people are racist and they are complicit in a system that benefits white supremacy, we can lose our jobs. Yet a 17-year-old boy can call someone a nigger and people are upset that he lost his application to an Ivy League, and people are saying how we ruined his life. When he bullied kids, he called kids the N-word. Yet let a black kid make a comment about white privilege and white kids, and somebody reports him to the administration, and he could get expelled for that. You're more likely to get expelled because you stand up to white supremacy or racism or any other ism or phobias in the world than someone who reinforces those things. So I don't feel sorry for people like Maya Jama or Kevin Hart or Cardi B who almost lost their clout because people found out that they really weren't here for other people the way that they pretended. And honestly, I've seen some Maya Jama videos. She seems like a funny person. She seems like a nice woman. But I just don't like how so many light-skinned women are able to harm dark-skinned women and get away with it just because they are pretty and because they are funny. And this halo effect that we can forgive them. Yet Kash Doll says that she doesn't believe colorism is a thing because she's never personally experienced it as a dark-skinned woman. And people are still upset at her and saying, well, you dumb bitch, how can you not know? So y'all upset at Kash Doll because she really wasn't ready to admit that colorism was affecting her career as a dark-skinned woman. And she's almost 30, and you're calling her a dumb bitch, even though she already apologized and said that she was wrong. And yeah, you still got people just harassing her and saying, well, that's what you get, bitch. But Zendaya can say something ignorant about dark-skinned people some years ago, and it's okay because she's pretty and she's nice and she's smart and she's able to learn from that. You see what I'm saying? We give people so much leeway just because they are conventionally attractive or because they are what society prefers. We can forgive white people for harming people. We can forgive light-skinned people or men from harming people, but yet let a gay person, let a trans person, let a woman, or let a black person, or let a dark-skinned person say something a little bit ignorant, and we're canceling these people. But you're afraid that we don't want to see you win, or we don't want to fuck with you anymore because we looked up a tweet of yours that said that you couldn't date someone darker than you and you as pale as ice. It doesn't make any sense. Think about what you say before you start talking outside of your neck.